What's up? I'm Runs with Alpacas, and I have another deck profile. This one is Magnet Warriors again, now that the link format is out. This deck's surprisingly competitive in ways you wouldn't expect it to be. Mrs. Radiant combos really well with it, so I'll get right into it. To start, you have to play all your little Magnet Warriors. You play 3 of each of the Electromagnet Warriors. That's Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, the Electromagnet Warrior. Beta's the best one. Beta searches either of these two guys from your deck. Alpha searches your level 8s, so Berserkion or Valkyrion. And then Gamma special summons either of these two. They get their effects when they're normal or special summoned, so they're pretty versatile in that way. And then each of these have the same effect that during your opponent's turn, you can tribute them, special summon a level 4 Magnet Warrior straight from your deck. And usually that's going to be this guy, Delta, the Magnet Warrior. When he's normal or special summoned, it's a Foolish Burial. Usually I'll Foolish the Beta or the Alpha and not the Gamma, because Gamma's the worst one. You really don't need to special summon from your hand. But Beta and Alpha, they're good in the graveyard because when you summon them back from the graveyard, you get their effects, and those are the effects you want. Delta also provides an alternate summoning condition for Valkyrion. I rarely go into that. It's useful for a late game push because Valkyrion is a 3500 attack monster, but usually you just use your Valkyrions for the fusion. I play 1 Alpha, 1 Beta, and 1 Gamma, the Magnet Warrior. They're just the vanillas. They're really not that useful. Honestly, I'd probably be better off playing some sort of draw card or some sort of really good hand trap. These guys can be good, however, if you're late in a grindy game, because Delta the Magnet Warrior is a once per turn. So if you have all 3 of the Electromagnet Warriors out and you want to tribute them, you don't want to go into multiple Deltas. So it's useful to use these guys for just other ways to get your Electromagnet Warriors in the graveyard. Makes your Berserkion a lot easier to summon. I play 3 Berserkion and 2 Valkyrion. Like I said, Valkyrion's really just for the fusion. Rarely go into summoning it, but you're going to summon Berserkion a whole lot. You special summon it by banishing 1 of each of the 3 Electromagnet Warriors from your hand, deck, or graveyard. He's got an effect that you can pop a card on your opponent's side of the field by banishing a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior from your graveyard. So that's another reason you play the vanillas. It's just more graveyard fodder for Berserkion's effect. But the best part about Berserkion is that he floats, so you can get the 3 banished monsters back when he's destroyed by battle or card effect, I believe. And it works if it gets Solemned, because Solemn does say negate and destroy. So even if your opponent outsists immediately, you get your 3 monsters back and you can use their effects just immediately if you haven't used them that turn. Since I play all those level 3s, I check in 1 Power Giant. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding a monster, and then he loses levels based on the level of that monster. So since he's level 6, you discard a 3, 6 minus 3, he becomes level 3. If you have Magnetic Field on board, you can special summon that monster right back with its effect. So you discard a card, summon this guy, and summon that discarded card right back. You can go into a Mrs. Radiant or a rank 3. And I play 1 copy of Gigantes. Gigantes is a really old card. It's from Invasion of Chaos. It can only be special summoned by banishing an Earth from your graveyard. His main use in this deck is to be a heavy storm when you need it to. So when he's destroyed by battle, he becomes a heavy storm. So if you ever had to, you can make this guy crash into your opponent's monster and get rid of some problematic spells and traps. That's it for the monsters. For spells, I play 3 copies of Terraforming. That searches me either Magnetic Field or Fusion Gate. Magnetic Field is really good for special summoning back your Electromagnet Warriors from the graveyard. All you need to do that is you need to control a level 4 or lower Earth Rock type monster. And then the alternate effect of Magnetic Field is that if your Earth Rock type monster battles an opponent's monster and your opponent's monster is still on the field, you can return that monster to your opponent's hand. So that comes in use very rarely, but it is decent. Fusion Gate is just an alternate way to get out the fusion, the extra deck. I also play 2 poly, so I have 4 ways of getting the fusion out. It works well enough. Polymerization is surprisingly not as dead in your hand as you would think, considering I don't play anything to search it, because it's really easy to search Valkyrian and Berserkion, so I play 2 poly. The rest of the deck are just some staples. I play 3 MST, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Torrential, 1 Compulse, 1 Bottomless, and 1 Solemn. Like I said, just staple cards that are good. I do want to say that I like Dark Hole better in this deck than Raigeki, because it doesn't hurt you to have your monsters in the graveyard. In fact, you want them in the graveyard to special summon Berserkion. Or if you have Magnetic Field on board, you want them in the graveyard to special summon them back from the graveyard. So I definitely like Dark Hole a lot, can get you out of problems. Say you got Quaking Mirror Forced, Dark Hole will help you get back in the duel. That's it for the main deck. It is just 40 cards. For the extra deck, I play 3 Mrs. Radiant. Mrs. Radiant is great to go into first, and then summon your Empyrean Magnum, the Superconductive Battlebot, which I play 2 of. Mrs. Radiant's really easy to make with the Electromagnet Warriors, and then this guy's really easy to make with Poly and Fusion Gate. This is your win condition. If you get Mrs. on the board and this card, it's kind of a big deal to handle. If you don't know what this card does, it can negate the effect of a monster, spell, or trap card once per turn during either player's turn. And then just like Berserkion, this card floats. So if your opponent does out this, you get a Berserkion and a Valkyrion straight from your deck, ignoring their summoning conditions. So that, and the fact that this is a 4,000 stat line, makes this card really useful in this deck. Like I said, it is your win condition. The Xyz lineup doesn't really matter. It used to matter before Link format, but I do still play 3 Gorgonic Guardian. You make it with 2 level 3 rock-type monsters. It can negate a monster effect once per turn during either player's turn and make that monster's attack 0. So it is useful if you can't go into the fusion to get out Missus and go into Gorgonic Guardian, or even just go into Gorgonic Guardian. It is still a very powerful card. And after that, the rest of the extra deck really doesn't matter, but I do play 1 Terrorbite, 1 Giant Soldier of Steel, because this card is just sick, 1 Zenmaines, 1 Engineer, 1 Strong Arm, 1 Diamond Crab King, which is not actually that useless, because you do play 7 level 4s in this deck, so a 3,000 attack monster is pretty good, and 1 Go 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 Goliath. I don't think I've ever summoned it, but it can, in theory, get a rock back from the graveyard. So that's it for the deck profile. Magnet Warriors are really fun. If you've never played them, I do suggest you try them out. You can just get them from the Yugi structure deck, one of them. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but you can just buy 3 copies of that, so 30 bucks, and you basically have this whole deck. It's a lot of fun to play, surprisingly competitive against certain decks. Don't have much more to say about it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.